105.5 Hits FM. It's Taylor B along with you. And it is time for daddy-daughter debates or whatever we're calling it. It's my dad. Hi, Dad. How's it going?
Hey, it's me, Daddy B, back with you this week.
Back at it again. And you're on the road again. You didn't grace us in studio this time.
Oh, I'm just cruising on the 401 here. It's all blue skies and butterflies. I don't know where I heard that before. But I'm headed to the beautiful, beautiful town of Cornwall, Ontario.
And what are you doing there, Dad?
Well, I've got to watch the boy play hockey and, try to fend off the boredom in between games.
Well, yeah, what are you going to do in between games?
Pretty much just stare at the wall because there's nothing else to do in Cornwall, Ontario.
You could go for a nice leisurely stroll in a community.
Oh, sure. Such a great hub of activity and historical beauty in Cornwall, Ontario. Basically, it's just,
I've never been.
Yeah, well, guess what?
What?
You don't need to go.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Right.
Now, I wanted to talk about hockey a little bit. Last night, you and I were talking, and I think we should address this on air. Now, my brother has been away for a hockey tournament with his team, and last night there was an incident outside of the dressing room. Do you kind of want to explain the incident, Dad, and then we can talk about it?
As everybody out there knows, every midget age child, 17, 18 years old, they're always tough guys. You know, he plays at a collegiate level there, and I guess some guys get a little carried away, and they forget the old thing in sports that you leave the game on the ice or on the field. Once the final whistle goes, it's just on to the next game. But some Lugans from the other team decided that they were going to storm the boys' dressing room and cause some issues. So there was some great excitement for the first time in months in Cornwall last night.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my brother was one of the first people out of the dressing room. But I'm proud because it sounded like he didn't really engage with the situation. They just kind of stood their ground and were like, what are you doing? This is not cool.
Well, yeah, unfortunately. And you think, you know, who are these guys to do something like that? And, you know, I think it just speaks to the, you know, people being self-entitled or I don't even know what it is, just bratty because these are people from good families in the city that probably have better things to do with their time than engage in these kind of activities. But I guess it's all a part of experience and growing up, but it's something that's the ugly part of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that people don't have respect for the sport and like you said, once you leave the ice or the field, it's done.
I mean, really, what are you looking for? You're looking for a 4 or 5 minute fight for a release, or you want attention? You know, when the other team's parents have to hold back those players, it's just embarrassing. If an adult or a parent jumps in and says, okay, that's enough, it should be enough. Apparently it's not enough. Apparently it's a big show and it's a big drama, and it's just plain embarrassing.
So as a parent, how do you feel knowing that that situation happened and you were so far away? Is it nerve-wracking? Is it frustrating? Does it make you angry? Or is it a mix of all emotions?
I like to think that I'm a stronger parent who maybe is not perfect, but has spent 17 years instilling, you know, self-respect into my kid and that he can go away from me and act in a way that
appropriate.
Is fine. It's appropriate. I don't think there's not very many times where I think that he would embarrass himself. Now, I'm not saying all parents are, you know, bad or good or what, but I just know I'm pretty confident that none of my kids would act in this way. So take that for whatever it is.
Fair enough. Now, I do want to talk a little bit more about hockey and beer, actually. Now, Dad, I know you're not a big beer drinker, but did you hear? Actually, you're not a beer drinker at all. You're not a drinker at all. But did you hear about the job opportunity Budweiser put out?
No, I didn't.
They were looking for a chief hockey officer. If selected for this role, the person gets to watch all their favorite hockey games during the 2019-2020 season. And Budweiser even states in the contract you can bring up to 3 friends to each game. So you're literally getting paid by Budweiser to go watch all of your favorite hockey games. And it comes with a $50,000 salary and travel benefits.
Wow. So what are they trying to get out of this? Is this a social media?
It's a marketing, definitely.
Right.
Definitely, right? They're promoting their beer and trying to associate it with one of the national sports. I mean, it's a fantastic idea.
How long does this last? Just the season?
It's just a season. So $50,000 to travel around and watch hockey.
You know, I'll tell you something. This just proves that, you know, life as we know it has really changed over the last 30 years. You know, when you became an adult, you got a job that you were at for 20, 30, 40 years. And nowadays, people are jumping from one job to the next. It's nothing for somebody to say, you know what, this sounds like a lot of fun. I'm going to quit my job, go and do this for a year, and then I'll just hop back in the market after. It just shows you how strong and how good we've had it for a long time here.
That is very fair. And I think there's something to be said for capitalizing on opportunity, right? This is a great opportunity for a hockey lover to make some decent money and do what they love.
Yeah, you could see it that way. Realistically, what it is just acting and promoting and just, you know, those guys who stand behind rappers, promotion guys?
Yeah.
That's basically what this is.
Hey, you know what? If I can make their money doing that, I'm happy.
Listen, I hear you.
Another thing that's coming up is flu season, Dad. Now, do you have any tips for people to avoid getting the flu?
Absolutely. Wash your hands after you go to your washroom.
And before.
Before, during, and after, for goodness sakes. You know how gross people are? On this trip to Cornwall, maybe I've had to stop a couple times to freshen up. And do people not know how to flush toilets? Or worse, do they not know how to lift seats? I mean, do people care about the person coming in after them?
No.
I just cannot get my mind around it. I'm going to, after this, I've decided, I'm going to now keep rubber boots in my trunk. And every time I have to stop in a public washroom, I'm going to put those rubber boots on because your running shoes aren't even safe.
Nothing is safe.
I mean, the toilet's pretty big. It's not a huge problem to aim in the middle of this massive bowl. What is wrong with you people? Pee in the toilet.
Yeah, that's very true, Dad. That's true. I actually learned a really fun fact about the flu, and it goes with washing your hands. What's one thing that you typically do with your hands that you mindlessly do? Can you think of what you touch with your hands mindlessly?
Well, I mean, I have no idea. Your eyes, your hair,
everything. But
everything.
Primarily, it's your head. Your hands are on your face. You're touching your nose. You're touching your eyebrows, whatever. So doctors are saying if you want to avoid the flu, don't only wash your hands regularly, wash your face because you're putting those germs directly on your face, which I thought was genius. Never thought of that.
I don't think it takes a lot of work to avoid the flu. Just basically make sure you have more vitamin C and just do the minimum required to keep yourself clean. I mean, let's face it. Every one of those doctors out there, they don't have the flu all flu season. So they're taking steps to protect themselves. They get the flu shot, which works, let's face it, most years. And they have regular washing routines. It's not that hard, people. It's not that hard.
You know what? It's not that hard, but at the same time, I guess it's pretty hard for some people. Let's rewind back to the bathroom comments earlier. But we're not even going to go back there. Did you hear what happened at Canada's Wonderland?
No, I did not. Is that place still open?
Yes, it is for now. I don't think it's rumored to be closing, but you never know.
No. Did you know that Canada's Wonderland is the most popular and successful theme park in the world?
No way.
Yeah, it's for seasonal theme parks. It is the number one theme park in the world for seasonal opening.
I had no idea.
They've done very well for themselves. They've done extremely well for themselves. Now, me, you will not catch me on another roller coaster ever because I'm just scared of them now for some reason. But you know what? The value is there.
Why are you scared of roller coasters all of a sudden?
I have no idea, but I just feel like I'm going to die. My heart is going to explode. Have you seen what they're doing at Wonderland now with these massive drops? I'm not interested. I'd rather go to It's a Small World after all or something. Give me something at Disney where I'm not dropping from the sky, hurtling toward ground. I'm not interested in that anymore.
You were my partner in crime, and now you're going to leave me high and dry like this?
Yeah, I did it for you guys back then, but now you're on your own. Go find somebody else to play with.
Okay, fair enough. Hopefully, one of my other siblings will want to go on a ride with me. You went on the Hulk with me at Universal Studios, which is pretty similar to Behemoth.
I don't think so. I think there's a big difference between theme parks and amusement parks. And I think the Disney stuff and even the Universal stuff, as tough as the Hulk looks, it's really not that scary. The rides at Wonderland are scary. Scary. I'm not going on that. No, thank you. Now, let me ask you this. We're talking about rides. I know you want to get to the story about the thief, but I just remember this. We're going away coming soon, your mother and I, and I think she's going to want to do one of these big zip lines, and there's a huge one where we're going. But I'm really afraid to get on this thing, but I don't want to put a downer on the trip.
Right.
Does anybody out there know anything about zip lines? Should I be scared of it? Is it true that the heavier you are, the faster you go? And if that's the case, am I going to break the speed record? Because I'm really, really worried about this. Is there any brakes on the thing? Like, what's up with these zip lines?
There are no brakes on a zip line. I don't know about the weight thing, but it depends on how long, too. How long is the zip line?
Apparently, it is really, really long. The longest one in the Caribbean or something like that. I actually think that you have to take 2 zip lines to get to the third zip line, which is the longest zip line.
The benefit with that is the longer it is, the more parallel it is. It won't be as steep, right? They're not going to put you on a steep slope for 5 or 6 kilometers. You're not going to be at the top of a mountain.
I don't know that any of them are 5 or 6 kilometers, but it just seems like a long way, and it seems like my brain is telling me that the heavier you are, the faster you're going to go. And I don't want to go that fast.
Do you want to launch a little experiment this weekend? We
Not
could
really.
go to treetop trekking, put you on a zip line, and see if you can handle it.
Treetop trekking. That's a great idea, as a matter of fact.
Are you actually thinking that's a great idea? Or are you being facetious?
No, I'm telling you, I think that's a great idea because I could probably do that without your mom laughing at me. And then I could figure out on the spot, no, this isn't for me.
Yeah, I would go do
I'm
it.
okay with this.
I'll take
maybe
you.
I will do that.
That way, Mom doesn't laugh at you, and we can do it together. We can face your fears together and get it on video and then put it on the Facebook page.
Oh, I'm sure she still will laugh at me for some reason. Anyway.
Probably. Now, let's talk about the thief at Canada's Wonderland. Guess what this donut did? They went to get a burger. Now,
what?
The situation is this thief, caught on video, it is a man, stole a woman's purse at Canada's Wonderland. The purse had car keys to a new car, a wallet, and a cell phone. The first thing he did when he stole that purse is he walked out of the front gates of Canada's Wonderland, right over to Wendy's, and purchased a Baconator. That was the first thing he did when he stole the purse. Not go look for the car, not take the cell phone and try to sell it off or something. Nope, he walked right across the street, purchased a Baconator, got himself caught on camera, and now, more than likely, he's going to be caught by the authorities. He is the Baconator thief.
Well, I will say that most thieves aren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but this guy is really, really a Lugan.
I was saying on the show earlier this week, not that I would ever steal, but if I were to steal, don't you think you'd go buy a TV, a computer, something bigger than a Baconator? Like, if you're going to go to prison, why not just go big?
Or how about steal what you got to steal and then get the heck out of there?
That's
Go as
true,
far
too.
away as you possibly can and figure out what you've got and then decide what you're going to do. Obviously, again, dude wasn't thinking, and whether it's this time or next time, he's done. Don't worry.
And last topic of conversation we need to talk about, the Super Bowl. Your favorite girl is performing.
Yeah, J-Lo still has it after all of these years. And, I'm not really a big fan of the halftime shows, but I know they're a big deal in the U.S. I guess she's not doing it alone. And it's in Miami, so there'll be a lot of sort of Miami-themed music. It should be pretty fun.
J-Lo and Shakira, 2 powerhouse females performing together. Now, do you know why they picked 2, Dad?
Why they picked each other or what?
No, why the NFL and the halftime show picked 2 entertainers for the show.
I have no idea.
So the date is February, which is a 2, 2nd, which is a 2, 2020, which is 2 2s. The number 2 is all over this event, so they said, why not have 2 headliners? 2 teams, 2 headliners. We'll just keep the theme of 2 going. So it could be great. It could be not so great. To be honest, we could get a pretty good song out of J-Lo and Shakira if they decide to collab, but we'll just have to wait and see.
I don't think anything has anything to do with the numbers. They have 2 people there because, frankly, neither one of them could be a headliner at that kind of an event. So you put the 2 together in that setting, and they'll rock it. I would also say that you'll probably see Gloria Estefan get dusted off and sent out there for her type of music, which plays really well to that area. I'm sure you'll hear Hips Don't Lie and all the big hits, and it'll be a big, grand spectacle. It'll be all over with. So
you don't think that Jennifer Lopez could handle the halftime show by herself?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Every time that they've tried to crowbar somebody into it, it's failed. So you know what? The last little few times they've tried to go really, really big with it. They're doing that. Name another band right now that could handle that. You know, there's millions of people that watch that show. Millions and millions. J-Lo, single people, Miley Cyrus, none of these could pull it off themselves.
I thought Katy Perry did a great job.
Katy Perry did a great job, a tremendous job, and there was a tremendous amount of production put into that. So that was a huge, huge, huge deal, and all she got was shade for that whole thing. I thought it was wonderful. It wasn't well received. So now they're sort of doubling down on bringing out multiple personalities. And like I said, I'm sure you'll see Gloria Estefan. I'm sure there'll be a couple other surprise guests because they just can't get anybody big enough to make that thing really, really well reviewed.
What about Lady Gaga's? She did fantastic.
Well, again, Lady Gaga is at the top of her game, and it was a massive, massive production. What's J-Lo going to do? Well, you've already done it. So what can J-Lo do to top that? There's nothing she can do to top it.
Yeah, it would just be a similar version of the 2 before. I understand that.
Exactly what it is.
But I think J-Lo is a fantastic performer. I think she can put on a show, and I think if she had that production behind her, it would be incredible.
It's possible, but your opinion is important. But think of the demographics in the United States that are watching NFL football.
That's very fair. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
Can I ask you one more question before we go here?
You can. What's up?
So I'm driving along here, and is it unique? Is it odd? Is it something that you don't see every day for motorcyclists to be on the road?
No, I see them every day.
Exactly. It's a part of our society. There's tons of bikes on the road in the summer, enjoying the last few weeks of the fall or before the winter comes. They're riding all over the place. But it's not really a unique thing. I mean, it's a generally accepted thing that tons and tons of people ride motorcycles, correct?
Correct.
So it's not an exclusive club.
No, but I mean, there are clubs.
There are clubs, but it's not an exclusive thing.
Okay.
So why the heck? Every time a motorcycle passes another motorcycle, why do they have to wave?
Well,
they don't know them.
It's
they don't
solidarity.
Have anything to do with them.
It's
What's
the people with the Jeeps that do the waves too.
Who?
Okay, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Did you and your friend not have matching cars and have a little jokey wave thing when you passed each other?
Absolutely not, because that would be ridiculous.
You're so full.
You're telling me that some guy riding a specific motorcycle who may be known in society as tough has to wave at some person riding something just a little over a moped?
I don't know why you have to be so bitter.
Is it the two-wheel club? Is that what we're doing here?
Are you jealous? Do you want them to wave at you?
Here's the thing. Keep your hands, both of them, on your vehicle. I don't want to see you waving every second. It drives me absolutely crazy. What you're saying now is I have to roll down my window and stick my arm out every time somebody drives a mini SUV. I'm in your club. I'm in the SUV club. Hello. You're smart. I'm smart. We're smart because we drive this vehicle. Is that what you're saying, or am I just bitter?
You are bitter. You're bitter. Let people be happy and wave at each other. You don't have to wave at them, and you don't have to look at it. Come on, man.
From now on, every time I see a motorcyclist coming the other way, I'm going to wave.
Okay, well, they're going to look at you like, what's he doing? You've got a journey ahead of you, so I'm going to let you go, Dad. Thanks for joining us again for another edition of whatever we're going to call this. Dad Rants, Daddy-Daughter Debates. We'll figure it out, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.